Be my guest, be my guest, be my guest with Sean Boy Joe. Be my guest, be my guest, be my guest with Sean Boy Joe.
Everybody, welcome back to the Be My Guest podcast channel with me, your boy Sean Boy Joe, and today, as you can see, I am joined by two very special guests. Now, daytime's finest antique dealer, AD, is back with us. Hello, AD.
Hello, mate. How are you? Hi,
very good indeed. Great to have you back on this channel. And of course, for the first time face to face, I have come to see the lovely Brenda.
Hello everybody.
Hello, Brenda. Brenda, of course, is known for playing that famous Panda Sue, amongst being a renowned actress as well. And we love you on this channel, Brenda. You have appeared a number of times, but this is the first time we get to see each other face to face. So that's lovely. Yeah. I know you've done a little bit here and there. Now, we're here for a good reason today, not just because AD said, I would love to meet Sue. Please, can I meet Sue? But we are here because you both have a mutual thing in common, not your love of Sooty, of course, but AD, you are a collector of teddy bears, as we know. Show us one of them. Who's this?
This is Spencer.
Spencer.
So this is Spencer. And to be honest with you, Spencer is probably one of my newest. I don't mean newest as in I've had him quite a long time, but he was on a reject shelf in Tesco's one Christmas, and this little fella was the reason I got back into bears, because as I said before, I lost my bear from when I was a child, and then I got him back. But Tesco got me back into the love of bears, and we're sort of quite a few thousand in since him. But yeah.
And then you went out market and called him Spencer.
No. He's Tesco, and then his wife is called Spencer, and I don't know where she's gone. Hang on, she's fallen.
Oh, dear.
Spencer! For goodness sake, where has she gone? I don't know where she's gone. She'll come back in a minute. She's probably nipped to the loo or the bathroom or something.
Yeah.
So where do your love of bears come from, AD?
Well, I always loved my bear when I was a child. I had a white and blue thing that I chewed his nose off, and I loved him dearly. And then I lost him for like 40 years. And I say Tesco, I bought Tesco one Christmas, and he was £5. And as I carried him back to my car, I don't know what it was. Something really connected with him. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's a £5 bear, and he has been all over the world with me. To the fact that, I worry so much about what would happen to him if anything happened to me. Yeah. And I thought, this is ridiculous. This cannot, this is, I'm now 56 and I still seriously worry about him and now all my bears, because they cannot be split up. So I don't know why, it happened. It was all from buying him, and then getting Spencer and then buying others, and it just became an obsession. And now it is a complete, to me, and I'm hoping Brenda's going to say the same, but to me, they're alive. They I talk to them and they talk back to me. They've all got their own voices, and they keep me sane, and they're sort of, they're pretty honest. If my hair's having a bad day, they tell me,
Yeah,
you sound to me like you've got the Harry Corbett gene, because of course he couldn't, once he'd bought Sooty, he couldn't, they had to turn round, he and the boys and Marjorie, they're going on holiday to France.
Yeah.
And he said, it's no good, I can't. And they all had to turn round and go and get Sooty.
Yeah.
And it's a famous story. And he even put holes in the box so Sooty could breathe.
Yeah, I do the same. So if I buy a bear and they've got to send it to me, I say to the person, look, you can send it to me, but make sure that, there's a hole in the box, that they're not in a plastic bag. And they go, are you joking? And I'm going, no, 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 no. I mean, just a very quick story. I don't know whether I said it last time, but you won't have heard it. So, Brenda, I was down in Cornwall a few years ago, and I'd got Spencer and Tesco with me, and I got to very, very near Stonehenge, and I pulled into a lay-by on the 303 because I was tired, but my van had to be back at Mercedes for a service next morning. So I had to leave early, really foggy. I got up in a lay-by, went round and had a wee, as you do, got back in my van, drove up the 303 and couldn't find Tesco. I put my hand out, couldn't find him, realised that he must have got out for a wee the same time as I did and fell out of the van. So I did a U-turn and went back to him to get him. Little did I know that I was already on the dual carriageway. And I was going the wrong way down the dual carriageway on the 303. And I didn't realise till I had two sets of headlights coming towards me. Absolute true story. And I mean, I just didn't know what to do. So I just stopped. Just stopped, as you do.
Yeah.
And anyway, I then had to do another U-turn. Obviously, I survived. The truck missed me. And then I had to go around. And I was screaming at the top of my voice, thinking that if somebody has seen him lying face down on the lay-by and have picked him up and I've lost him, I honestly could not tell you. I can't describe that feeling in my chest. It was just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Oh.
Incredible.
You would love. I've got a very good friend who's a playwright, Moya O'Shea, and she wrote a play called Theo. Have you ever heard that?
No.
It's about a teddy bear, an Edwardian teddy bear, and its life, and the person who lost it as a little boy, and it saves lives all the way through. It's in the First World War. And then it gets
I'm getting goosebumps.
With a lorry driver in the snow, the bear gets him through that, and eventually it ends up in a shop, and the same little boy who's in his 60s sees Theo in this antique and gets him back again. It's a wonderful play. It's been repeated. I'll get a link to it and get it sent to you.
You must. You must.
Love it. Yeah.
Oh, I'd love that. I mean, I think I said before, I've got from being on the show, I get approached by people that have got bears. A lot of people that are in their, sort of 90s that have had bears from new, and they don't want their bear to just get lost. No. So I adopt their bears. I've got bears left to me in their wills, all sorts of things. But one of the most unbelievable story. I had a lady that contacted me, and the way she wrote the letter to me was very, very, it was quite worrying to start with. And I thought I didn't really know what I was reading, because it's just the way that it was written. So I contacted her, and basically her bear that she had as a child, she loved it dearly, but her mother used the bear as a punishment. So if she'd done anything wrong, the bear got punished. So the bear would be put in a cupboard. The bear would be put in the oven and all this sort of stuff. So basically, she couldn't stand. It got so bad. The relationship with the bear was so horrendous. She'd put the bear in a cupboard, and it had been in the cupboard for tens of years. And she said to me, I still love my bear, but every time I see it, all I feel is the heartache from when my mum would punish the bear to punish me. So would you have it so my bear can now be loved again? And honestly, the story was just, and I couldn't wait for that bear to get to me. And now he just gets spoiled. It's just, they're alive, they're real to me, they're real. And I can't, I don't worry how mad that ever sounds.
No.
To me, they've got feelings,
Yeah. What a twisted woman that mother was.
Yeah.
But Brenda, you've got to. I suppose you might have not heard this before, and I think you're the reason. I think that's how I feel. You and people like Ronnie, because, I'm 56, so I've watched, I mean, you started in 82, didn't you, doing Sue?
Yeah, yeah.
So I probably watched it a little before that, but I would have watched you as well. And to me, Sue, Sooty, Sweep, all of them, they're all real. They're in my head, and they're real characters.
Yeah.
And I think that's what children miss today. They've, it's all modern games and all this and the other. And I said to you again,
and don't
Sean,
forget, it's all animation, which is cold and is
absolutely
not
of course.
cuddly and tactile, and you can. That's the trouble. Yeah.
Sue was always my mum because she was so. I mean, in later years, which I guess that would have been you. She got quite bossy, didn't she? But she was always the sort of having a go at everybody, and I don't know. It was just
because I think with Matthew, she had to be in charge because with Harry, of course, you've got the naughty boys. Yeah. But then when Matthew took over, it was he joined the naughty boys.
He was a bloody puppet as well, for goodness sake.
He was a puppet. He was the Muppet. But so Sue had to be the one that was the disciplinarian. She had to be in charge. Yeah. And don't forget, she was the only other one that spoke because she had to chat.
Of course. Yeah, but you say that, and I've been watching over the last few weeks a lot of clips of Sooty and Sweep, and what gets me about Sweep, he comes out with this most magnificent noise, and you can still sort of hear what he's saying.
Well, you can, yeah.
It's fantastic. I mean, I just love Sooty and Sweep was my life. It was just amazing. I loved it.
I think we can all say that, AD.
It's still really, really funny too, isn't it? I mean, yeah.
Well, he's always been there, Sooty. That's one thing we can always say. Some characters have dipped, but Sooty's always been there.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that Sue was Sooty's girlfriend.
Oh, well, you know the story.
No.
Well, the story was that I suppose Harry wanted Marjorie involved in the show, and she was the one who operated it. And to be quite honest, she didn't puppeteer. Sue was on a stick, and it was like a mop. And when she first came on, she was like this. She sort of twisted this thing. You know the story that after she'd been doing it for sort of 9 or 10 years, she used to chain smoke Marjorie, and she couldn't watch the monitor, read a script, and have a fag at the same time. So they sacked her because she was a fire risk in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness!
That's why she went.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think Matt wanted to work with his mum either.
No, okay.
But yes, so she was brought in, and the BBC said, "Sex on the Sooty show. We can't have this," and that was it. They dropped it.
Oh, wow!
Because of Sue.
Yeah.
Good grief.
And that was the transition to Thames Television, wasn't it, or ITV?
Yeah, absolutely. 10. Yeah, to ITV.
Wow.
Just because of that, AD, yeah.
So we can both slag off the BBs. Oh.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we also have to say that Sue technically hasn't officially announced that Sooty is her boyfriend.
No, she hasn't. No. Because
is she not?
No.
No,
because bless her.
In one episode she went out with Butch. Do you remember Butch? Of course.
Yeah. No.
She goes on a date with Butch.
Oh my God.
But that comes to nothing.
No.
Oh God! Thank God. I mean,
and then Stacey Solomon married you in a dream.
Stacey Solomon married us in a dream.
Yeah.
You've got Sean, you're an expert. Yes, she did.
Stacey Solomon.
Yes.
Stacey Solomon came on and played a female vicar and married. It was a bizarre episode.
Yeah. Where have I been?
Well, this is more recent, so you'll excuse.
Yes, it is more recent. And Sooty and Sweet, Sooty and Sue, Sooty and Sue got married. It was rather sweet.
Hmm.
You can see me in the congregation of the wedding as me too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in a hat, big hat at that wedding. But it's all in Sue's dream.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, she got pregnant, didn't she, Sue? And they didn't know whether it
What?
was Sooty or... Yeah, well, that was a
Yes.
big scandal.
Yes.
I tell you
remember
what,
that.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
You don't know about this. What
No,
happened
I
was...
do not. I have no idea about this. I thought I'd done my research. I didn't know she was Susie.
You haven't dug deep enough, AD.
I
Yeah.
haven't.
No.
Yeah, well, Matthew had 3 children. He'd got Tamsin, Joe, and Ben, and all the episodes were kind of. It was great because 2 boys and a girl. He could then get all sorts of material to write the episodes.
Oh, wow. Yes.
And,
Yeah.
whether it was Scouts, Bob a Job, or whatever they were doing, the puppets
Yeah.
they do. And so what happened was that Tamsin, his little girl, came back from school and was walking around the house with a cushion stuffed up her. And Matthew said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "Oh, well, my friend Madeline's mum looks like this and she's going to have a baby and I want to have one too, you see." So he decided that Sue would appear at breakfast.
Nothing was off limits with him, was there? No.
No, with the cushion stuffed up. But the whole thing was, it did cause an enormous scandal because it was, I can't remember one of the lines. I ought to remember
Yeah.
it, but it was terrible because it was about, he said something like, "What have you got up there?" And she said, "Oh, it's a cushion." And he said, it looks like, what is it? It looks like that you've got the whole of Manchester United up there, was the line, or something. It was a terrible line.
Yeah. But he got away with it because it was Matthew Corbin and he could do it, I suppose.
Yeah, and then it appeared on one of those programs. They featured it as a television's biggest blooper. You know,
Oh, it'll be all right on the night or something like that, yeah.
Yeah. It was.
Oh, I love that.
And then he had them sniffing stuff with lovely John Bird, the late John Bird.
Mm-hmm.
They were sniffing. Do you remember all that, Sean? That scandal of them essential oils.
That's it. Most bizarre stuff went on.
And Sweet was bouncing about like a lunatic. So
all I've got in my head is tying knots in handkerchiefs to remember things and then couldn't remember what they were trying to remember. I mean, that's my limit. I've never heard of all this other stuff, you know.
But AD, I kid you not, in my era, Brenda's character was a con artist.
Brenda's what?
Yeah, well, I played somebody called Mo from the market.
Yeah.
Very good. Oh, yes. And I'd come in going, "Oh, me, Mo from the market." And I would con them every week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you ought to see that.
Oh, it was like Coronation Street meets Last of the Summer Wine. It was oh, and the things my character got away with, it was incredible.
That was obsessed with Vera Duckworth. So we were at Granada and I had Vera Duckworth or Elizabeth Dawn's cast-off wigs.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. One of the funniest things I remember about Mo's character was the episode Del Grub. Oh, that was just a gorgeous episode.
Actually, you remember that?
Oh, it just come into my head. It was just because it was burgled backwards.
Oh,
my God.
homework tonight, I tell you.
Yeah.
You can't imagine what my homework tonight's going to be.
You're going to have to look up Mo from the market. But there was one wonderful episode where Sweet left home and he was selling the big tissue under one of these. Oh my God, you'll be in bits. You'll be in bits.
Yeah.
You see, Sweep was me. I still class that Sweep was me. I live my life like Sweep.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Driving the camper van like a nutter. Oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I love it.
No.
Yeah.
But your characters were just superb. Sue and Mo was just, I mean, for its time as well. I just don't know whether you would get away with such an artist like she was back then. I mean, you can get away with doing stuff that you couldn't do now, I guess.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
The ironical thing, I think you asked me, Sean, what my favourite episode was, and Mo stood for a counsellor. And I mentioned this before, haven't I?
That's the
Have I?
illustration I sent to you, wasn't it, with Mo and
It was,
Connie?
darling. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was Mo was against potholes. Now, this is a long time ago,
Yeah.
and it's not funny anymore. It was completely what's happening now. And she'd got this great big megaphone and was going around, say no to holes. No to holes. Say no to holes.
Yes.
And what an irony.
Yeah.
That the night I had a blowout.
Yeah.
Thinking of that. And I was going around this morning saying, I'm going to vote for anybody in the next election that does something about the roads.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you're not taking after Mo at all.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you need to
hilarious.
watch. I think you can get that on online on YouTube, that episode. But it's literally like a sitcom all in one. It's just a brilliant episode.
Adi, I had one week Mo came and she got a white elephant stall in the market.
Right.
And it was only white.
Yeah.
No way.
Of them.
Yeah.
I just suddenly thought of that.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. That's fantastic.
I remember
love
because you
that.
were searching through and you said one thing that made me howl with laughter as a kid because I thought it was a naughty word. You went, oh, and here's a bunch of flipping frying pan handles. And I didn't get it until after as an adult thinking that's not a swear word. She was trying to be funny with the frying pan. Just magical how you could get away with it all. But Brenda, so you've got, and as have I, I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I've got in a second. You've got lots of stuff over the years. You've got a shrine like Ronnie has. He's got a room full of rainbow stuff.
I had. I mean, it's just things that, of course, nobody else would have. Which is,
Yeah.
you've got your little 50s sort of mug and things going right the way back.
Yeah.
Look, this is how big people used to. This was a mug. Just shows you how. Well, I don't know if you can see the size, but that's what people said was a mug. I mean, it's like a teacup by today's standards.
Yeah.
It's very lovely, though.
So that's Sooty in the wash tub, and then you can get the little cereal dish again.
Oh, look.
Tiny little cereal dish.
And you're going to be bidding in the minute on these.
I am going to be bidding on them, yeah.
You see there, that's the xylophone, and then Nick, my friend Nick Lumley, as I told you, gave me the Sooty xylophone for Christmas this year.
I've got that. I've got that xylophone.
You've got a box.
I'm envious now.
I haven't got a box.
I don't know. I will find out. I will look.
I'm desperate for the box. But anyway, so that's that. But here, I've got 2 bottles of this, which I've explained before, which is 50 not out or 100 not out. This is 100 shows that we did at Granada Television. And this is dated Tuesday, the 13th of July, 1999. So that's
Sorry to say I was a mere baby.
Oh.
What else have we got? Oh, lots of crew shirts, really. Lots of crew shirts from the beginning. And the Stife Bears, have you seen?
Yeah, I have a sweep Stife Bear.
You have a sweep?
Do you?
Tiny little one, yeah.
I didn't even know they existed.
He's gorgeous.
That's 1952 to 2012 on his little paw there.
Oh.
So that's,
God, I didn't even know they existed.
Yeah,
I have a tiny little sweep
60
one.
years. That's 60 years. And for some reason, the Stife Soon is huge.
Really?
Rightly so.
She's much bigger than Sooty.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, gosh.
Well, I think they did various different sizes because my sweep is tiny. He's a tiny, tiny little thing.
Yeah. I went on What's It and sold them for them. I can't speak. What What's the shopping channel?
QVC.
QVC.
I went on QVC and sold.
Did you?
Yeah. Got a dirty nose.
Oh.
Yes, so those are those. And then I've got a set of puppets, which are circa 80s, I think.
Ooh,
Right.
they might be in line with
I think. I've got a tin of beans up, Sooty, so he stands up. I think this Sooty is the prettiest Sooty. I'm sorry.
Oh, look
he
at
is.
him. Hello, Sooty.
He is the prettiest. Hang on, let me put him on. Because we had Spike Milligan
Oh, God.
on the show playing this character. And he was very naughty because
Well, there's a surprise.
oh, God. If he didn't want, he just wanted to mess about until Sooty came out of his little box like that and looked at Spike. And he went mad, Spike. He said, nobody told me he was as pretty as that. Nobody told. And he was in tears because Sooty had to whisper to him.
Oh, wow.
I think that he's got a kind of a squashed nose. Now his head's a bit bigger and he's got a longer nose, but I like this one.
I know, he's got more of a round face. Would that be from the 80s?
That's from the 80s, yeah.
He's kind of slimmed down in more recent years, hasn't he, sadly?
And this is pretty modern. This Sue's pretty modern. Got you. Yes, now getting on. Yeah. Oh, the old arthritic fingers were going. Girls, get in there. It's
Thank God you don't puppeteer for her either.
Lovely, darling Phil Fletcher, who does Hacker, makes me little dresses.
Aww.
And he made this one, and it just gives her a sort of...
there she is.
Oh, she's a gorgeous bear.
Hello, sweet.
Ooh.
Hello, darling.
Oh, how lovely to meet you.
It's lovely to meet you too. I've watched you for years.
Oh, don't embarrass me. I've come over all unnecessary. I didn't realize.
Oh, bless her. That dress is lovely.
It is, isn't it? Look,
yeah.
And what he does,
as well.
clever, because they've got these long necks, he gives them all a polar neck, the dresses. And he's the only person that's ever thought of doing that. Look, it's brilliant.
Wow.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Oh,
because she used to wear the old headbands as well, didn't she?
Well, she did. I think that era was actually early 2000s, wasn't it? And they tried to make her a bit punky, but
no, I mean it's in the headband she wore in the 70s.
She used to wear when she played the piano. That's right. Yes, she did. Yeah.
No, but in the other series that's where she wore
whatever she puts on, she still looks like the Queen Mother to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's this?
She's got her wash bag.
I've got a sweep here. And I thought I might have to get him on the repair shop because my naughty nephew
on that show.
I mean, in the old days, my nephew's 46 now because he borrowed this to take it to a party. And Sweep's got fag burns all over him, you see.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Well, I suppose
where's his collar gone? He hasn't got a collar.
Collar, let's see. Oh, we get one for you, darling.
Yeah.
And his nose is a bit threadbare, look.
Oh, look at him.
He needs to go on the repair shop.
He does. The repair shop's calling you. Children in need. Come on.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, look at him.
Oh.
You love him, don't you?
He's me. I think I've based my whole life on Sweep.
Yeah.
But he's such an anarchist, Adi.
Yeah.
He's a total anarchist.
I love how Sue always picks on him.
Yes,
Yeah.
she's got no mercy at all.
That's it, yes.
So,
That's why people love him so much, because Sue picks on him.
I know.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, that's a new word, sausage brain, nowadays, isn't it?
Sorry, right.
Oh. Oh, what else have you got there, Brenda?
Looming at you. It's just it's so pathetic at times, isn't it? Oh Lord. Oh.
And which era would he be from?
Which era would I be from?
No, from Sweet. Well, we wouldn't dare ask that, Brenda.
Who's working you, Brenda?
Yes, yes. Who's the
Well, funny you should
puppeteer?
ask
Ronnie's
that.
back in the room.
Funny you should ask that. But no, I still didn't hear what you said, actually.
No, I was asking what era the Sweet puppet was from. We know the Sue you had was from the
The
80s.
same with Sooty. He'd be
Oh,
80s as well.
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
They were rehearsal. Yeah. I had those in the 80s. I think. Yeah, Matt gave me those.
Right.
Yeah.
Show us your lovely collection. Put the camera to your beautiful collection because you've done it so
I
lovely.
can't because it's
Oh.
as I'm putting things down. They're all-
Okay.
Well, I can. Hang on.
I was going to
I'm
say
putting
you
them-
did it so nicely. I didn't want to.
I know, but they had tins of beans up them.
Oh, they've been eating beans,
They'll
Eddie.
stand up, but they have to lie down. Stop it, Adi. Stop it.
I know,
I'll just-
sorry.
yeah,
Well,
I'll
it
just
wasn't
hand
me, it
them
was
in.
Spencer. Spencer's
Spencer.
come back.
He's as
Yeah.
naughty as Frank Spencer.
Yeah.
Look at him. Yeah.
Oh, there's enough. Yeah. Come on.
Oh, there we are, Spencer. I don't know. I
Oh,
don't,
look.
can you see?
There you go, Spencer.
Oh, what a
Oh,
load
look.
of old
What's
stuff.
that lovely tin you've got behind there? You can see a
Tin?
nice Sooty tin.
I can't
Oh.
say anything.
This.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen these?
Have you watered your plants?
Oh, look
yes.
at those. Face
They're
masks.
great, aren't they?
Oh,
Yeah.
they're great.
They're great.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Is
I
that in a
found
plastic
those. I
bag? Is
forgot.
that in a plastic bag, Brenda? Are they in
Plastic-
plastic bags? Can they
Yeah.
breathe?
No. Yes, they can look.
There you go.
Oh, gosh. Oh, sheep. Oh. Sorry, we all
I'd
have a
like
bit
to
of a
know who
fight.
wears them, those little masks.
Quality masks. Yes.
Right.
Oh, I'll tell you what else I've got, which I absolutely love. That this woman knitted for me. Egg cozies.
Oh,
look.
look.
Ah,
Aren't they sweet?
Aren't they fab?
They
they're
are.
great.
I love
They
those.
are great.
Oh.
She could do a roaring trade in those. And the other thing we have here is an award.
Oh, look.
Oh,
At the end of each series, we had sort of awards. for different
oh,
things.
wow.
So yes, I don't know, can't remember what that was for, but anyway, I got it that year. But I've also got, which I couldn't unplug, a massive yellow light that lights up, which is Sooty. So it's an actual Sooty lamp, which is lovely.
right.
Wow. Gosh.
That would be Sooty as he was meant to be, covered in soot.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And Adi, you're aware of the story of Sooty, aren't you? Of course you are.
No.
Oh, you're not? Oh, go
No.
ahead, Brenda. Enlighten
well,
us.
Because it started off on black and white television,
Right.
and Harry bought this glove puppet for Matthew, and because on television it had no definition, so it looked white, but it was gold, but it looked white. So they said to them, "Oh well, what can you do?" And Marjorie said, "Let's put some soot on his ears, and then give him some black ears, and blacken his nose, and then and he was called Sooty." That's how it
Oh,
started.
wow.
She just put soot on the ears.
Oh, wow. So when did the wand come in then?
The wand, I think, always came in because Harry was an amateur magician as
Oh,
well.
of course. Yeah. Okay, I understand. Yeah.
And he was an engineer, a television engineer, and also a television rep. And he,
Oh.
in those days, were those great big heavy things. he caught a bus because they didn't have a rep car. He carried these things and knocked on door to door saying, if you buy this television, you'll see me and my little bear. And he was the top television salesman.
Oh, I love that.
But I love the fact he couldn't afford a television himself, so he had to go into other people's house to watch Sooty.
Yeah, they had no money.
Wow.
He was also a wonderful musician as well as a magician. He was a wonderful musician.
Wow.
Yeah.
But as you said, AD, very different dynamic between Harry and Matthew, of course. Very different.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think everything needs that to progress as well. And I think Richard brings a slightly different dynamic as well to what Matthew brings. So
he does. He's very, he really is a hybrid of the two because he does the Harry stuff beautifully as well and loves the minutiae of all the little props and things like that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, he does like all the slapstick, being as stupid. But as I said to you, and I shouldn't really say this, that Sue hasn't got quite the authority, shall we say, that she had with Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is she not now?
No, she's one of the reasons for that is because it had to appear in a time slot, had to appeal to a certain audience on ITV for advertising, so it's going to be like ages.
You need to sell nappies, AD.
You need to sell nappies, AD. So between the ages of 3 to 6 or whatever, it's it's for a much younger audience now. It's still essentially the basic things are the same, but Matt had loads of double entendre that adults picked up on. It was a family show. That was the difference, and it's now aimed at a younger age group.
Wow. And quite frankly, when I was a kid, I would love to have seen Sooty on a Sunday night next to Mr. Bean, but it didn't happen.
Next to Mr. Bean.
Well, it would have worked brilliantly. Sooty and Co. and then Mr. Bean afterwards, but
I changing the subject. I met Rowan Atkinson down at Le Mans because I go to Le Mans every year, and it's ironic because it's this weekend, but I'm not down there. But I was down at the Classic with Rowan Atkinson a few years ago, and he was standing in the pits in the paddock, looking into an engine, because he was racing. And honest to God, just the whole, he was being serious about the car, and yet all we as the public could see was Mr. Bean. You just couldn't take him seriously,
That he must get that, mustn't he, all the time? That people can't really take him seriously.
No. It's not Mr. Bean, it's Blackadder. It must be a shame, really, but that's the thing with typecasting, and sadly what Ronnie was telling us, AD, in the last podcast with the lovely Jeffrey, that sadly he stayed too long in Rainbow and that's all he was really known for. Yet he was the most fabulous actor, so it happens. It happens. And I should imagine that Matthew has kind of the same thing now. I know he branched out to do various other programs for ITV afterwards, but didn't really have the same effect, did it?
No. When he did his longboat, because he did have several passions. He built that narrowboat, and but he didn't. He didn't want to end up the same as his dad. But no, he will always be known as Mr. Sooty, and I think he realizes that now, even though he's a fantastic, musician. Yeah. And he just, is relaxed about it. But of course, he did make money from it, didn't he? To give him the lifestyle that he had. So, but his creativity was compromised after that, because when you think he wrote 13 half-hour episodes, only him, and all the music, and then to go from that to nothing, it's a terrible shock, really.
And often puppeteered at the same time.
And puppeted, no, he was. And then the moment the television stopped, he started the stage tour.
Yeah.
So, he worked and worked, and he did work extremely hard, but partied hard as well. So he went from that to partying every day. Because he got a house in Spain and a house in the States, and so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
That's great.
you have continued with Sue, and of course, you know, you mentioned before this, and we know in the podcast we did all those years ago that you've always played Sue. And AD, you'd love this story. Just tell the story about how, despite a very wonderful puppeteer taking over Sue, you actually still managed to play her for the McDonald's adverts.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. I got the old "It is with deep regret" letter, saying, you know, we won't be requiring you for the next series, which was a huge shock because my mum had just died as well, and I was
Oh,
nursing her with
Oh
cancer.
no.
It was absolutely awful. I mean, that's
Yeah,
what happens in life.
yeah.
You know, when one door shuts, another a window slams in your face.
yeah.
I thought, oh gosh, and so the reason being that they were trying to save money, and I didn't puppeteer for lots and lots of the series. I only puppeteered at the beginning because there was too much to say, and
Right.
you couldn't be doing that and reading the amount of script,
Mm.
and so they got somebody in to do the puppeteering and speaking at the same time, and the part was cut down, and two series were filmed at the same time. However, McDonald's did a Happy Meal, and they decided they wanted Sue's voice because everybody trusted Sue.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So
Rightly
they
so.
phoned up the television company, say, could we have, you know, Sue's voice? And it was this other actress, Sheila, and they said, that's not her. That's not
Oh,
Sue.
lovely.
No,
I
it's
love
not.
that.
No.
So they got onto my agent, and I did that. So even when the other voice was going on, I was still doing it.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yes, and got a shed load of money for that, so that was all right.
Oh, I'd have loved that. That would have been brilliant. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
McDonald's Happy Meal, and it
Good
wasn't
old
a
McDonald's.
puppet. It was just the voice that they
Yes,
trusted.
yes, of
Yeah,
course. Yeah.
yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah.
And then thank God for Richard.
And then, oh God, I mean, the whole thing did just fold because it was being sold on and on and on, and then it was grinding to a halt. And then they got rid of Richard. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
And then nothing happened because I just explained to AD that, because I've said all this on the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
Matt wrote all those scripts, wrote all that music, did all the puppeteering, and the cost of the show was minimal, I suppose, because you've got one guy doing so much creative work. And
Yeah.
of course, when they bought it, they bought a piece of fur fabric, hadn't they?
Of course.
They hadn't got a talent that could write half-an-hour sitcoms, clever sitcoms, and be so
Yeah.
funny. They hadn't got a talent that could write songs. They hadn't got a puppeteer. And so they hadn't got it in their budget to make a profit. So they kept introducing new characters, thinking they could do it on marketing. And
Yeah.
it all went tits up. It went tits up.
Yeah.
And it stopped. And Richard was heartbroken, Richard Cadell. And anyway, so he watched the market to see if it would ever come up. And he said to his brother, because they ran a leisure park, if ever Sooty comes up, we're buying it. And his brother said, "Oh, are we?" Anyway, sure enough, he started up a pantomime company, Richard, and he was producing duo pantos. And I was with him doing Snow White up in Skegness. And he said, "Sooty's for sale." He said, "And I'm going to know whether we've got it or not. I put the house on the market. I'm selling the house. We've put the theme park on the market, and I'm going to buy it. And I'm going to turn it back to what it was." Anyway, and he said, and of course, you're Sue. And so that's what happened. That's
Just
what happened.
How
magic.
fantastic.
One of the
That
greatest
is
success
wonderful.
stories there ever was, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's brilliant. And Matthew just thinks Richard is extraordinary. Now,
Oh,
here's a little thing that's happened in the last fortnight. Richard he is wonderful as a pantomime performer.
hmm
And again, he's an illusionist as well. And he won top pantomime performer in the country last year. That's for Crossroads Pantos, the
hmm
big ones. And he's
Yeah.
a brilliant comic and all that sort of thing. And he's doing Woking this year, Panto.
Wow.
And guess who's doing it as well?
You
Oh,
are.
yay!
That's my next thing I want to get into. I want to get into panto. I
Yeah.
did.
That'd be brilliant.
I love it. I was a dame in a local panto in Lyd in Kent, and I just absolutely
It's exhilarating,
loved
isn't
it.
it? Yeah.
Oh, it was just the best.
Yeah.
It was great. The only problem is, and I'd have to be different. I did too much ab-libbing.
Yes.
There was, you know,
messed
because
everyone up.
I didn't realise that everybody came in, when they knew their cue. Well,
Certain points, yeah.
I didn't really come up with the cue because I made my own thing up. But
Yeah.
I have realised since that's quite important,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
You sort of get
what
away
the
with it
hell?
in Panther, but not that much, AD. Yeah.
No. Well, I remember on one of the scenes, it was quite bad of me. We got the BBC came in to film because I was filming this other film called Fixing Challenge. So I was sort of showing off a little bit because we've got a full camera crew in. And there was a scene where Captain Hook had to put this pie in my face. Now, of course, I was a big fat dame, And on the last night, I thought it would be funny to duck. So the pie didn't hit me in the face. So I ducked.
Wow.
The pie shot over my head and landed on the dance floor. And the next scene was the scene where all the children had been waiting all night with their parents in the audience. So all the children came running on to do their little dance. And of course, there was a bloody pie in the middle of it. So every one of them, as they ran in, went, oh,
I would love to have been there, a fly on the wall.
and there was
The
two other
stories of
stories.
AD.
There was
When's your
two
book
other
out,
quick
AD?
ones.
When's your book? Oh, my God.
There's two other very, very quick ones. I'm standing as a drunken dame leaning on the bar, and one of the characters had to walk in with this dolly, which was a baby, And and as he walked in, and of course, this young girl had got her lines to say, and of course, everybody was waiting for the parents and waiting for them and everything else. And as she walked in, I just went, "Oh my God, ain't that baby ugly?" Well, everybody went in hit fits of hysterics, and then never heard the line. The girl, nobody heard her lines. But the worst one I did, they said, and I'd never done panto, and obviously,
Have you done it since?
you've got the prompter stage right if you forget your lines, and of course they're saying obviously the audience this thing of panto, nobody's supposed to know that she's there and all this that and the other. Well, I introduced her. I introduced her to the audience. I said, it don't matter if I forget my lines. Come and meet Barbara. Barbara, come and have a look. Come on. Everybody cheer for Barbara. And of course I explained who she was. That went down like a sack of spuds, but it was very funny. And then I went and sat in the audience with a guy because I was getting bored. I'd been on stage, but I didn't have anything to say. So I walked down the steps and went and sat next to this guy in the audience and asked him where he'd come from. And, and everybody was laughing. But of course, everybody unfortunately was now focused on me and not watching the panto. And so I did realise that, if I'm going to do this, I've got to behave a little bit.
Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. We have to explain, AD, because you are not anywhere people would recognise, because you're in France, aren't you?
I am. I'm here for a month.
You're here for a month. What are you out there for? Tell us the goss.
Well, I buy, as you see on the bidding room, I buy anything.
Yeah.
But in real life, I'm known, I suppose, as a French brocanteur. We buy bracons, but I don't anymore. So for 2 years, what I bought is art. So I worked with a company who worked completely behind the scenes with a private club chain, and I buy art for them. So nothing I buy ever goes online. It all goes directly to them and then directly to the club. So I buy fresh art that hasn't been seen on the trade or on the circuit anywhere. I buy lots of it, absolutely love it. So I'm here for a month buying nothing but nice pieces of art. And it's brilliant. All the odd house. I buy the odd things for us, you know.
Oh, what a lovely thing to do. That's lovely.
Oh, do you know what? It is amazing because obviously you can buy run-of-the-mill stuff, and then all of a sudden, like tomorrow, I've got to go to Fillets, and there's some dealers up there that buy the best of the best of the best. So you're looking at pieces of art that are just out of this world. But of course, as they arrive, you've got to do the miles to put them in, you know. So,
Yeah.
So this is our busiest
whereabouts
time.
are you? Here's a map of France. Where are you? Sort of middle or at the moment?
So my house is in Mayenne, Normandy area. So we're we're an hour up from Le Mans.
Right.
So 5 hours from Calais, 3 hours from Dieppe, middle of nowhere, just
go down
surrounded by nothing.
Yeah. And the roads are so fab out there, aren't they?
You know what? We've already hit it. The potholes. There isn't any. You know, they're just.
I know.
It's I live near Tunbridge Wells, and of course, you know, East Sussex, and our shop is in Kent. The potholes. I've never. I mean, my wife drives a Mercedes estate. It's just been in for the second time. You know, air suspension broke twice within 2 years. You know, it's just. I've just bought a Mercedes E250 Cabriolet, and you're gonna laugh. So I've just bought it. I've had it 4 months, and I put it in storage. I cannot stand taking it out. Every time I take it out, you know, you come across a bloody great big pothole. So I've got a lovely old E-Class that I've had for years, which I use for filming, going down to the south of France, that I was selling. I've took it off sale and I've put it back on the road. Because, you know, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Just not worth it.
I know we're talking completely off random. I mean, just for example, where I live is a very, very tiny village. And the last time I was out here 3 weeks ago, a load of potholes had appeared going up into Carouge. Tiny, tiny little village. When I got here just over a week ago, I thought, I can't believe they haven't done anything about these few potholes. The next day I went up to the boulangerie. The whole road was taken up. So they've dug it up by 6 inches. And within 24 hours, it's all been done. It's all been relayed.
There.
And why can't we do that in England? England, come on.
Yeah, I know. Well, we don't have Mo in France to campaign against.
No, we need Mo. Come back, Mo. Yes. Come back,
Mo.
Yeah. So that's why, AD, you haven't got any Sooty at hand, have you? To show us.
No, I haven't, because they're in England, so I'm really sorry. So I feel like I'm Sootyless. I feel like I'm letting Sooty, everybody down.
Not at all. Yeah. So, Brenda, you showed us a lot of the stuff you've got. I've got quite a bit here, so I'm going to show you some of the stuff I've got. I'm going to start with the puppets. Let's start. And Brenda, you can be our wealth of knowledge and tell us which area these are from. I love this one. This one here. Let me see if I can put him on. I am not as brazen as Brenda, but there we go. Let me see if I can show you this little bear.
Oh,
everybody does that with a little hand. Yeah. You have to do that with his little paw, don't you?
He looks. Yeah, well, I mean, he's. I'm just trying to think the name of the manufacturer of that particular bear. We can't see him. We can't see. There he is.
Chad Valley.
Yeah, I think he.
I just saw you looking at his bottom.
I did. Wasn't I cheeky, Sooty? Yes. He's a lovely one. He's slightly slim.
You would have had him sort of as a boy, wouldn't you? A young lad.
Yeah. This one is a very old bear. He's walked a little bit, but his head's quite.
Sooty.
I know. He's lovely.
Hello, sweetheart.
And this one here would have been very much from, I believe, from my era. He's a lovely bear, this Sooty. He's my favourite.
Yes,
Sweet.
he's lovely. And
He
he's
would have
got that
had a little
there.
wand there, I think, where his
Yeah.
paw is. Yes, go ahead, Brenda.
Yeah. Yes. If you lift him up, 'cause let's have a look and see how long he is.
There you go.
He's long. Yeah, he's quite a decent bear, isn't he?
He is. He's quite large, yes.
Good
He
quality.
would have definitely been from the Sooty and Co era, but this one doesn't
Yes.
have it. Oh, it does.
Definitely.
Let's have a look what it says here. It doesn't say. There we go. It says copyright of Matthew Corbett, rightly so. So there we go. So he would have been very much of the 90s. His head is lovely and round.
He's Granada. He's
Yes.
definitely Granada.
Yes, absolutely.
This is Thames,
Right.
and that's Granada. Yeah.
There we go. We're
Definitely.
testing Brenda here. So we'll say goodbye to the
If
Sooty.
you turn him to the left, or let's see his profile, he's got a kind of snout that tips up, just slightly tips up, like some bears do, which
Yes.
it never did before. Do you see that crease across
Yeah.
where his eyes are? Yeah, that was a very new, and I think that it's the Chinese made those.
Oh. He's not amused. Right. Okay, we'll say goodbye to this Sooty.
So, because
Yes.
she's a panda.
Yes. Well, I have a Sue here, but this one I think is a very recent Sue because she only has the top half of her showing because her dress is very. So there's.
Oh yeah, and I've got one of those. Yes,
Right.
yes.
So this one would have been PMS.
That would have
And that's
been
2008. So
yeah, that's about right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So she's a nice little Sue, but she doesn't have a little. I need to get a little headband for her.
Oh, look at her.
I know. Yes, I'm surprised she doesn't have a top half of her dress showing, but
I know. It's
Yeah.
very short in the body there, isn't
no, right. And one of the other ones, so I'm going to show you this one. This one is a little sweet, and he actually squeaks. He'll be from the same company, 2008, and he's got a squeak. So there he squeaks, as you can see.
Yeah, he's got the tipped up nose. He's a Chinese one.
Oh, right. There we go.
Yeah, yeah.
Not amused.
Where's the squeak then?
Inside his stomach.
Whoops.
Well, we can't hear it.
Ever so slightly.
No, we can't hear that.
We can't hear his squeak.
No, he's gone deaf. He's gone deaf. Oh, dear.
Oh,
And you
dear.
know how the squeak is made? It's actually a clarinet reed because it's very difficult to reproduce, and
Right.
it's a clarinet reed which is whittled down, stuck onto a piece of cardboard with blue tack, and then put in the mouth because you can get a very much bigger range.
Right.
Oh,
However,
wow.
I have got a swazzle that, has come out of a blow tickler. And when I do my little messages and sweeps, usually
Yeah.
drilling up the patio or burying a bone, or I do.
Yeah.
I do play, or usually if it's a birthday message, I've got a smoke alarm that I play, and he's always burning the cake, the birthday cake.
Oh, wow.
But you do hear Sweep squealing in the background with this swazzle, and it's very realistic. It does sound exactly like Sweep, but
Yes.
only a couple of the tones that you could get
Yeah.
with the real one. Ah,
Look at that. So that
musical.
one, he is, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
He got a cowboy hat on.
He has. I have a feeling this could be from the Dreaded animation, but because I know the animation, he wore a little hat as well. For
He
cowboy.
did, yes. So we're talking early 2000s again, aren't we?
Let's see this one.
I feel really bad for not having mine here now.
No, this was
If you
1998.
go and get a duster and flash it across the screen, Aidan.
I know
Yeah.
I could, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
No, he's gorgeous. This little bear's never
There
been.
he goes.
He's such a gorgeous bear, and I think you would be right in if it still works. He might play the Sooty and Co thing, but you couldn't hear it from here.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, I think he does. He's supposed to, whether he still does or not. But he's a lovely little bear. But it says musical glove puppet. But it is from 1998, so it would have been just as Sooty and Co. had finished.
Right. Yeah.
It was lovely. So what are these? So this one here, because I've got quite a bit more than. So this says it's an annual from 1998, Brenda.
I've got a 50s annual somewhere and I couldn't find it, but I know it's somewhere. I know where it is, but it was I've got too much stuff to move to get to it.
These annuals are beautifully illustrated. So these two in particular are lovely. I don't know whether they look like they're from the same illustrator, but they're gorgeous on the front of it. Show you the one from 1994.
94.
Lovely illustrations. And this one, I believe, must have been from the year before that. It doesn't actually say the year on that. But then the logo looks a bit older than that. So
that's definitely that's definitely Granada, that logo.
95, there we go. So yes.
Yeah, that is a Granada logo, yeah.
And this one from 97, which is a bit more plain. They were downgrading slightly with the illustrations.
That's lovely. I like that one. I like it.
And this one I acquired when I went to the Sooty show. I think it must have been a few years ago when I went with my lovely cousin. And I met Richard himself, and he signed in person. Look, Sue's there, AD. Look, she's signed as well.
Oh, look at that.
That's wonderful. I've kept that. It just goes to show my cousin.
He's great at signing.
Yes, absolutely. Just as much enjoyment as I did back then. Now, stats and stats. I'm going to show you an interesting thing that you will flag up. Now, apparently, I'm quite fortunate because I'm the only one to have one of these videos because they're very rare, because Richard got rid of all of these particular episodes because he didn't like them, AD, and rightly so, because Brenda wasn't involved and Sweet stopped squeaking and he found a voice actor. But of course, we're talking about the animated series of Sooty. Look at that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, they sort of made an animated
there was
series.
A problem with that, well, A, we didn't want it animated, but B, we were recording at the same time.
Sooty and Co.
We were recording Sooty and Co. when they were recording that, so I couldn't be in two places at the same time.
Right.
But the producer and Matthew went absolutely raving mad. Should never have got another voice. And actually, it's dear old Susie Blake who's voicing that.
Oh, right, okay, Susie Blake.
It's Susie Blake. And we then went off and did Noises Off together on tour, and it's quite funny because we were two Sues. But I didn't mind Susie Blake doing it at all because, of course, her grandmother, great aunt, I mean, was hang on a minute, was Muffin the Mule, was Annette Mills. Her aunt was Annette Mills. That's what it was. Yeah. And so she'd got a great history of puppets and things like that. So, yeah.
But I didn't quite understand their reasoning in why they wanted to, make it into an animation, and also Sweet found a voice, and so did Scampy.
I think John Stevens, who is the guy that set the whole thing up, thought he was going to make a lot of money. That's basically what it was about.
Sadly, what happens,
Yeah.
I once heard somebody say that they didn't mind Muffin the Mule, but they got a little bit offended by Dobbin the Donkey. Sorry. I don't know why that's always tickled me, but it has, and I don't really understand why. But if it's rude,
I
apologize.
Thank goodness Sooty stayed silent.
You couldn't have Muffin the Mule now, could you? You couldn't have Muffin the Mule.
No, I know, absolutely.
It's just ridiculous. And I think it was 1949, 1950, Muffin the Mule.
I know, Muffin the Mule. Jesus, imagine
there
that.
You go. Like I said, if you've got one of these videos, then you are in a gold mine.
At 5:30, we've got Muffin the Mule. Kids, turn it off. Kids, turn that over.
This would have been my first introduction to Richard Cadell, and it was on the Sooty Magic videos. Now, it's a shame they were going to produce more of these, but they didn't. I think they only produced 3.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Well,
So this would have been my first introduction. I think there was a set of 3 Sooty Magic videos where they would produce a
I
live show.
remember making those, and I
Yeah.
remember, oh God, name. What, that wonderful guy? He does everything now. He's so clever.
Yes, no, go ahead.
Andy Nyman. Andy Nyman. Ever heard of
Right.
him?
No.
No, I
Well,
can't say I have.
Oh, he played Tevye in Fiddler on the Roof in the West End.
Oh, right.
He's in the film about Judy Garland, the film Judy. He plays one of her friends in that. Yeah, he's an amazing guy.
Right. Just looking because I've got so many VHS tapes. This one's quite lovely because it's very old now, as you can see, but it's in a cardboard packaging. AG. Back
Oh, I
when
like
you were a
that.
child. Look at it in the cardboard packaging. I think this one would be from the.
God.
It does say Thames era.
Oh my God, look how
I love that one.
It's in the cardboard box, yeah.
what year
1987.
is 87.
But it would have been a lot earlier than that. I think the episodes look like they would have been earlier.
Yeah, they probably do them sort of 84, 85. I
Yeah.
don't remember that.
But look at that, and look at the back as well with Sooty.
Oh, look.
Just magical when they could make them like that. Sadly, I hadn't kept it very well, but this had the episode, I think, well, it had the episode time capsule on there. So look at that. That's a
I
little
remember that. Yeah.
Oh, it's lovely. I need to keep these and preserve them. I've got so many. But this one, of course, this one is from the Thames video collection, Brenda.
Yeah, I've got that myself.
Oh, you have this one, yeah?
Yeah.
The Adventures of Sooty, that's the video collection. Oh, written by Matthew Corbett.
Oh, look at that fishing rod.
I know.
Sooty fishing, I remember it well.
Oh, wonderful. What else? And I've got a few other, and these ones are from, as I believe, the last ones are from I've got 2 of them. One of my favourite episodes was Speedy Sweep. I loved that. And these are both from the Sooty & Co. era. As you can see, they're very similar in design there. Look at, and I particularly love Sue's dress in this picture here. You can see Sue's dress there.
Oh, that's rather nice.
Bless her.
It's a lovely dress. That's wonderful. And I think that was from Bright. So, yeah, they were lovely. And the last one, and I had loads of these as a child. This one was the educational series, Learn with Sooty.
I'll tell you something funny about that.
Yeah.
We recorded those in this tiny studio in New Malden in Surrey.
Oh, yeah.
We did the A to Z of numbers, and we did the A to Z
The one here.
of animals.
Yeah.
And this, what was it? A C was for crow, and we had an animal handler. There were 2 animal handlers. No, it wasn't. It was J is for jackdaw.
All right.
And this bloody bird, because we were in a studio, a dark studio, and I had a light on my script, kept flying round and landing on my head. And its claws were in my hair, and it was marching up and down.
Oh, no.
The animal handler came and took it off with my hair, and then off we go again. And then it marched, and oh, for God, it was terrible.
Wow.
In a small studio like that, yeah.
Oh, don't. And then we had T is for tarantula.
Oh,
And
no.
Yeah, and I had that on my hand, but I didn't mind that.
I couldn't have done that.
No.
Do you know they leave their hairs behind? Because they've got the great big hairy legs, but they kind of molt.
No, I could not have done that.
No.
No, couldn't have done it.
The jungle's not
Yeah, they're about to get a blooming a stun bottom in for that one.
Yes. Yes, yeah.
It's for tarantula.
Yeah.
Actually, they had it on Sue's head. It was like this.
Oh,
yeah. No.
The kids are having nightmares.
Yeah, they probably are. Yeah, absolutely.
Goodness me. And lastly, I've got a bunch of
Coconut.
Don't get up, get down. These ones, surprisingly, I'm going to let you into a little secret with these. When it's all done, really. Poundland. I did. These ones
Stole them
actually,
from Poundland.
I did. I ran out the door. I thought they were a bargain. These are the. It says the Sooty Show on them, but actually, I originally got. I think they're repackaged, but I have the original ones somewhere from a very lovely place that is no longer with us. Past Times, and they were a lovely retailer. And these have some of the lost episodes that Richard Cadell found back in the early 2000s. So these have got I think they're the only ones that have Harry Corbett's era on DVD.
Ah.
So they're lovely. And Richard introduces them from his little shed and lets everybody know that we found some rare episodes. And it's got Sooty's Tea Party, Sooty's Garage. There's loads on there. The Chinese Shop, the Bath Night. So lovely, lovely, lovely. And they're wonderful. So it's lovely. I can show my little one then from way back on Sooty's era. Remastered as well, which is lovely.
I'll tell you what is amazing on those, Sean, going back to the Harry things, are the props, aren't they? The props are absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
And dangerous. Is that the one where you've got Sooty on a lathe?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's extraordinary they made that miniature lathe that Sooty was working on. You'd love that, AD.
You would.
What's that?
It's Sooty working on a little lathe.
Wow.
A
Really?
miniature one. Well, Harry had this because he was an engineer, he had this incredible prop maker that made everything in miniature. That works. Little petrol pumps in the garage, and
wow.
it's just fabulous. That was just part of the charm of that.
Yeah.
Completely different to Matthew's wordplay. Really, it was more
physical. Yeah.
Simple, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But clever. Clever.
Yeah.
Richard's tried to go full circle and adding that in as best he can nowadays. I have a beautiful illustrator, and Brenda will know this. And this is a lovely illustration that I have from Faye, and you have an illustration I sent you. I don't know whether you've got it.
I do. It's on my wall in the kitchen.
Oh, you'll have to show our viewers in a second. But this is a lovely picture. It's one of my favourites.
Oh, that's lovely. That's beautiful.
Just shows Matthew in all his light there with Sooty and Sweet and Sue.
Yeah,
and that's such a wonderful artist. You'll have to show AD the picture that I sent you if you can get to it on the wall. It's gorgeous.
I may be sometime. Hang on.
Right. Which is just gorgeous. And you'll need to watch the episode back, AD, in order to understand what the picture means.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah.
There we go. Look at that. Oh, and she's framed it gorgeously.
Wow, I love it.
And I've actually got that down the bottom, Sean, where it says politics is messy work.
Yes.
Printed an original painting by Faye Bainbridge. Warring Councillors, Brenda Longman as Mo and Connie Crichton as Connie, from an episode of Sooty called Councillors, 1997, that is, yeah.
Oh, wow, I love that.
It looks so much nicer in that frame. It's gorgeous.
It does. It looks great.
Yes.
And then your certificate of authenticity as well.
That's it.
Oh, wow.
One of one. There's not another one out there. Well, it has been wonderful chatting about Sooty to all of you. And to see AD's little face, Brenda, as he met you was just wonderful. That's what people do it for, I guess.
Wonderful meeting, AD. Really has.
Oh, I know, it's been amazing. I cannot, honestly, I cannot tell you how excited I've been, because it seems ages since we mentioned it.
Yeah.
And you said that we were going to be meeting Brenda, and I'm like, oh my God. I
Like
can't
Ronnie
believe
came off
it.
the phone and then, I'll get Brenda. Oh, of course you will, sure.
Oh, it's amazing. I love it. I love it.
Absolutely, and this
like I
will
said before,
definitely as a separate
that's
section now.
a huge part of my childhood, and I mean, even modern day, it's just something there, whether it's Stu, Sooty and Sweet, Zippy, they are all something that I think's really, I mean, my boys, I mean, they're in their 20s, I mean, they grew up with Sooty and Sweet and all that sort of stuff because of me as well, because of loving it. And they completely adore it. And I think it's something that is it should be carried on. It's so important. At 56, it's still a massive, massive, massive privilege
Yeah, same for
to
me.
know that I was going to meet you today. It was like, oh my God, you know, it's incredible. It's
Yeah.
so important. It's magical. It's
It
magic.
is true. It's like I like to say that I do all of these podcasts for the people that listen, but I can be a bit self-indulgent sometimes and go, I met the hero. You know, it is true. But what have we got coming up for Sooty then that you can talk to us about? Because I know, Brenda, there's been a long-winded planned movie, AD, that we don't know if it's going to come.
What?
But
Yeah,
we're going to be in a movie, hopefully.
Yes, I to be quite honest, I don't quite know. I mean, I was very hopeful for the movie over Christmas because some investors had come back in again and it looked like it was all going to happen. I don't quite know.
Right.
It's obviously gone away again. The problem is America, I think, because Sooty isn't known in the States, you can't get the distribution, you know, it's not like Paddington. But it's a very lovely script, and I'm sure it will be made in the end, even if it's just for British telly. I think Richard will find the money to do it.
Yeah, maybe a TV movie again.
Yeah. We've also got half a series in the can, which has also got to be finished off because that was going to be animation, but that and distributed in Malaysia. But Richard has so much on his plate at the moment that obviously. You know, he'll sort it out. I don't know.
Yes. Are we seeing another series of Sooty as well in the theme park?
Well, that will be it.
Right. Okay.
That will be the next one. I think this one will be finished off.
Right.
But the film, of course, is set in a theme park.
Yeah.
But he now is part of Dreamland in Margate. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
So Richard actually, I think, owns Dreamland now. So it's going to be, probably the setting for the next Sooty thing.
I bought so many rides out of Dreamland. It's untrue.
Yeah, he's an amazing man. Oh, you've frozen. You've frozen. Have you
we all froze.
We all froze. Yeah. So he's a pretty amazing entrepreneur, really.
Yeah.
Wow.
Will we see more of Mo? The last we saw of Mo, she was selling donuts in the theme park.
Oh, I hope. Well, I don't know. I'd love.
It would be lovely to see what Mo's up to.
I know.
What does she do how could she go from the market selling frying pan handles to the theme park selling donuts?
I know, it's ridiculous. Do you remember that episode where they went over to Spain and it was Mo's villa out in Spain? Because Well, she owned that villa and lent it to Matthew and the puppets in that episode.
Oh, well, she was a bit generous at some occasions.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she let them have that. But that tickled Matt that she'd got enough money to let them have the villa.
Yeah. Oh, the days of Brenda and Mo.
And also, thank you for that mention that you sent me, that guy saying that.
Yes. Oh, Adi, I've got to send it to you. It's hilarious.
Yeah, Conman Mo was part of his childhood.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Bungle, George and Zippy all slept in the same bed. Yes. Often with Jeffrey in hand as well. I could never understand that. I could never understand that. Oh, you're going to sleep with me tonight, Jeffrey. I can never understand it. Is there anything before we wrap up, Adi, that you would like to ask the lovely Brenda?
Yeah, I want to know what Sue does when she's not working. I mean, what do they all do? Do they just sort of lounge around? What's their hobbies? I mean, I just need to know all this stuff.
It's very important.
Sweep's doing a PhD.
Is he?
Yes, he's quite busy with that.
Wow.
It's in archaeology because he wants to find out. He wants to dig up some more bones, really. He wants an endless supply of...
stupid question.
And on the side, he's doing a sausage-making course.
Of course he is.
Oh,
Oh, dear.
Sooty's actually involved in some big illusions that he's talking to some people over in LA.
oh gosh. Well, of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because they're quite expensive, those big illusions that you.
Yeah, yeah. What, he's trying to get the funding or something, is he, or things like that?
Yeah, but he's got to get the funding. Yes, he's got to get the bare funding for that. But
Yeah.
actually, ask me what I'm doing, and ask me what I'm doing.
That was my next question. So, Brenda, what are you doing?
What am I doing? I've just directed a play about Clarice Cliff.
Oh,
No.
Yes.
wow.
Oh my goodness, how amazing.
It's called Sunshine on a Plate. And
Oh, how lovely.
it's just doing a little tour and everything. But do you know what is absolutely incredible? Because it's just selling out wherever it goes.
Of course it will. How
name.
fantastic. Yeah. I've got to tell you a very quick story. I used to
I'll leave you to chat about Clarice Cliff.
yeah, I used to have a I used to have a sign business. I used to go and do all these trucks down in London. There was a valeter down there, and it didn't matter what I'd done, he'd done it 100 times bigger. You know the type of people I'm talking about. And I was dabbling in antiques and all sorts of stuff then. And he says, yeah, I buy antiques. And I'd got an English motorhome at all. At the time, I got a Swift Royal Ensign. And he said, yeah, he said, I've got one bigger than that. He said, I've got one of them big American jobs. I said, all right. I said, what make? He says, one of them Winnie Bagoos. I said, what? He said, I've got a great big 49-foot Winnie Bagoo. I mean, 49-foot Winnie Bagoo. And so that was that conversation. And then I said to him, I said, well, when you go to the antique fairs, what sort of stuff do you buy? He said, I buy the little compacts. I love little compacts. He says, and I collect Gladys Cliff. Absolute true story. So he drove a Winnie Bagoo. He drove a Winnie Bagoo and collected Gladys Cliff. So he drove a Winnie Bagoo. He drove a Winnie Bagoo and collected Gladys Cliff.
That's really rare. Very rare.
Horrendous. Absolutely. I bet you didn't mention that in your play, did you?
No.
Gladys.
I've never forgot it. It was amazing. Gladys Cliff.
Oh God, I can't wait to tell this, the girl that's doing it.
But we have Diebold, which is brilliant, and it's been lovely. What has it been like for you, Adi, to meet Brenda? I know it's been joyous for me. So,
it's like anything. You never know, do you? You never know how things are going to go, and I mean, you get sort of so excited. You know me from the show. I get so passionate and so excited about stuff, and it's just been a joy. And honestly, I'm not just saying it because you're sitting there, but the fact that I'm speaking to you and you are the voice of Sue, it's magical. It's magical. I mean, I can't wait to tell my kids I've spoken to you. They'll go, no, you've not. I took a screenshot earlier on, and because they won't believe me, I've been so excited, honestly. I love it. It's been amazing. Amazing.
Oh, yeah, well, that's very humbling. And likewise, it's just been a delight to meet you.
Thank you. It's been great. It's lovely.
Thank you for all the entertainment that you've given us as well.
Oh, fine. You've been great. You've been great. It's been lovely.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to appoint the lovely Brenda Longman to make Adi's dreams come true. And, in fact, sign us out as the lovely Susan. Let's have Sue come in.
I've got
say goodbye to us.
Close your eyes, everybody.
Okay.
So wonderful time we've all had in this podcast. I've had a smashing time, and I've met Adi, and I've got great thanks for Sean.
Oh my God.
Bye-bye.
Oh my God. Oh my God, it's like being in a bloody time warp. It's just beautiful. I love that. It's so, I mean, something so simple and yet so magical. I love it.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
That's made my day, honestly. It's been everything I expected.
Oh, brilliant. Well, there we go. I'm going to have my little Sooty and get him to wave.
Come to working panto.
Oh yes. So when are you doing panto?
December the 6th till January December
And
the 5th.
where is it? Woking, did you say?
That's it.
And it's, big
I'm
incident.
Remind us who you're playing
I'm
again.
coming. I'm going to get tickets. Can I get tickets now?
Yes.
I'm going to get
Can I
tickets.
come with you, AD? I want to come with you.
Yes, absolutely. Let's all go, and then we'll have dinner.
Yeah.
We'll just be waving our hands like, look, it's the mad people.
Yeah, it's us. It's us. It's a puppet.
Yeah.